Hey guys, are you ready for today's July 21st, 2024, 8:07 p.m. Central Time? So you guys wanted to hear my opinion about this? Well, you're about to get it. Biden out as of this afternoon. Harris in? And yes, there's a question mark after that because of something Obama wrote this afternoon. And I will show you what he wrote. I will also show you a part of what Biden wrote in his little, I would more put it, concession speech to Harris. I don't think he wrote it, obviously, but beside the point. I never want to hear another Democrat talk about democracy ever again. I never want to hear a Democrat politician, a Democrat donor, the Democrat media. I never want them to talk about democracy ever again. And here's why. They rigged the 2020. It was very obvious. And I'll give you an example. In Pennsylvania, the Secretary of State made a decision, that they were going to count ballots that came in after the election and that didn't have dates on them of when they were mailed. So obviously Trump's lead in that dwindled very quickly when that decision was made on the fly. Okay. That's one example. Now, they are cheating in 2024. And here's how. Not only are they cheating now, they cheated in the primary. They changed 60 rules right before the primary to make sure to kick out RFK Jr. out of their Democrat primary. Specifically, they allowed two candidates on the ballot that would not embarrass Biden, that got very little votes. It did pick up a couple delegates, literally single digits, but they literally changed 60 rules to kick out RFK. Now he's running as an independent, and he will be on the ballot in 2024. Now they are ditching that entire primary period. They are ignoring millions of people who went out to the polls and voted for Biden. So they are literally ditching democracy. Okay? And why are they ditching democracy? Because donors froze $90 million from Biden after the debate. Democrat donors in general, too, in the public, dried up after the debate. Also, the polls came out showing Biden not very favorable in the public. I mean, less so than he was. And Trump gaining in favorability. They also figured out that the Democrat public were not going to show up at the polls, and it was going to affect down ballot races. And they were going to lose the Senate and not gain the House. That's why they ditched the primary, and now Biden is out. Even though less than 24 hours, his campaign put out that he was in, and they made a statement stating from Biden that the party needs to coalesce, and any fighting is just helping Trump. Okay? Now, this morning, on Face the Nation, his co-chairman of his campaign, Cedric, went on there and said Biden is the nominee. He is running. We're behind him. There's nothing about him saying goodbye. So a few hours later, the campaign, just minutes, gets the news Biden's out. Then Biden sends out a letter to the media and online and in emails saying he's out. He basically had a gun to his head. Basically, get the fuck out. The Democrats are sketchy motherfuckers, and they don't ever deserve, for any reason, to use the term democracy ever again. Now, this is what Biden wrote. It's very quick because I'm not reading what he claims are accomplishments. Biden wrote in an email, because I get those emails, Democrat emails, I'm subscribed to all of them, and text messages for that matter. He said, "It has been a greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. For my part, my very first decision as party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. It has been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump." Then I asked for a donation. "I am grateful to every member of this team for the work they've done and will continue to do to save our democracy. Keep the faith as always and spread it, Joe." Joe Biden, President of the United States. Now, this is what Obama said. He did not give his endorsement of Kamala. In fact, at the very end, because he sent this out on X, it was a link you had to click on. He wrote a lot of paragraphs talking about Joe Biden, how great he is, the accomplishments he's done, how he was great as vice president, and puke. Okay? This was the end. These were the two ending paragraphs. "We will be navigating uncharted waters in the days ahead, but I have extraordinary confidence," this is it, "that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges. I believe that Joe Biden's vision of generous, prosperous, and united America will provide opportunities for everyone will be on full display at the Democratic convention in August. And I expect that every single one of us are prepared to carry that message of hope and progress forward into November and beyond. For now, Michelle and I just want to express our love and gratitude to Joe and Jill for leading us so ably and courageously during these perilous times, and for their commitment to the ideals of freedom and equality that this country was founded on." Actually, you should say equity, because that's what that party's about. But beside the point, what? He has confidence in the leaders of the Democrat Party that will be able to create a process from which outstanding nominee emerges? Yeah. Harris in? Not so quickly, people. Harris has not gotten endorsements from Jeffries, Pelosi, Schumer. She has gotten endorsements from liberal people, including the Squad, including Newsom from Harris. Newsom, Harris's governor in California. She got the endorsement of the Clintons, which I think, obviously, is because she's a female, but is a big embarrassment on their part because of what Obama wrote. There likely will be a mini primary for the Democrat Party because Obama runs that party. It's very obvious that he runs that party. I can't believe this. I can't believe Biden actually bowed out and took the bait. He was pissed off, frustrated at this whole kicking him out situation, and then he caves. I mean, he was overlooked for 2016, totally overlooked for 2016, and went with Clinton instead. He didn't win the presidency before. And this motherfucker finally gets in the White House, and he allows them to kick him out. Yeah, okay. So beside the point, the last part I'll put in this is that the money that went to the Biden-Harris campaign is going to be litigated in court likely. The FEC's made it really clear about campaigns, apparently, that you have to basically refund any money from a campaign when someone drops out. That money can technically go to a super PAC. Now, if they do that, because Harris apparently, I found that out recently, Harris apparently can't just take that money by herself, even though she was on the ticket. If the ticket changes, the entire campaign changes. So obviously there's going to be a vice president here regardless. So the ticket changes. Harris may not get the money because she may not be the nominee anyway. So if they put it to a super PAC, the downside of that is that apparently campaigns get lower rate for TV and other things that super PACs don't. So it would be in their best interest to try and transfer this to Harris, if she's the nominee, that is, at this point in the game. But the FEC, if it's taken to court, will definitely probably rule against that. But I mean, why transfer the money to Harris if Harris is not the anointed one at this point? You know, just refund the donors. The donors will end up putting money up for a different campaign. But at this point, the campaign is asking for money, but it's not the Harris campaign. It's Act Blue, which is going to probably a super PAC. So this is crazy. This whole situation's crazy. If Harris ends up as the nominee, it will probably be a terrible decision for the Democrats. I think they're probably going to try and put people at the top of the ticket that are considered moderates. In fact, Joe Manchin has told Fox that he is actually going to re-register as a Democrat now that Biden is out. Okay? And throw his hat in the ring. So it's possible Joe Manchin could be on a ticket. Josh Shapiro apparently is governor of Pennsylvania. He's really highly looked at, I guess, in the Democrat Party, but nobody knows who he is. So trying to sell someone brand new in 109 days is probably going to be pretty difficult. They're going to have to hope on a decent ticket that's moderate and just hope that incentivizes people to go out and keep pushing the vision of democracy is going to be destroyed if Trump gets in, and that's motivation enough for them to go to the polls, because that's their biggest thing. Besides the fact donors push Biden out, the Democrat public kind of pushed Biden out too, because they weren't going to show up at the polls and it was going to affect down ballot races. So that affected the entire party. So they're hoping to revitalize this whole situation and get Democrats to come to the polls again. Harris, they're going to say, everybody's saying, oh, we're so excited, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. You're not fucking excited about Harris. Harris is a disaster. She fucking is a lawyer from San Francisco, is an extreme left, okay? She was the final vote in the Senate for inflation. The bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, which actually caused inflation. She was the border czar. The border's a mess. She's supposed to be, anyway, the AI team, heading up the AI team, which she's done nothing with. She was supposed to get some voting rights shit done in Congress. She never did. She's all about abortion rights. So that's going to be something she's going to be talking about. She's going to say, I'm going for behalf of women everywhere, and I'm a woman myself, and blah, blah, blah. So abortion rights is what she'll run on. But keep in mind, when she was a prosecutor in California, she wanted to decriminalize illegals and actually get rid of ICE, okay? She imprisoned over, I want to say 2,000 people behind bars for weed offenses. Then she held back. This came from Tulsi during the debates. She held back information in a case for a guy that was on death row that was about to be put down, basically, to try and make sure he was put down and didn't go against the fact she had prosecuted him. And the judge the courts forced her to give up that information. I mean, this chick's a mess, an absolute mess. I can't put my finger legitimately being positive. There's no accomplishment that Harris can push to. She can say that she was part of the Biden administration and they got this done and that done, and climate change is a focus, and EVs and all this stupid shit that they claim was a positive thing. She can claim those types of accomplishments, but those really weren't her accomplishments. Those were Biden's. But yeah, she was part of the administration. And yeah, she was the final vote for some of the shit. But none of that was accomplishments. If anything, it's a terrible record. So she's got a terrible record prior to, during, and she's never won a primary in her life. Nobody primaried her as a senator in fucking California. She's never won she went for president. She got less than 1% of the population in her party to go vote for her, so she dropped out before she even got to the first primary. I mean, she's a mess. So of course Obama is going to write what he wrote. The Clintons are going to be embarrassed 100%. This is a joke. They subverted democracy 100%. And they're going to subvert Harris in the future. So who knows who the Democrat nominee is going to be? Who knows? It very well could be Manchin and Josh. But Josh Shapiro, keep in mind, is a Jew. And if he's a Jew, the people that are in Michigan, that is the Arab community, is not going to vote for that ticket. Not going to vote for that ticket. So who knows? Who knows going to be the top of the ticket and the vice president at this point in the Democrat Party. Never talk about democracy ever again, you fucking losers. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.